What's up, everyone? Today we're going to take a look at the Rogue One SH Figuarts Shoretrooper from Bandai. Alright, so let's take a quick look at packaging, and this is a standard Figuarts Star Wars box. So we've got the kind of slim box with the large window in the front. We've got the Rogue One Star Wars logo with the Figuarts spiel on the front. We've got our character name. We've got a place for our figure. We've got some extra accessories. We have got our Shoretrooper on the side. We've got some shots of the figure on the back, along with a lot of kanji on there. It probably says something along the lines of, I don't know, why do you still buy Black Series figures? We've got the Rogue One logo on the other side, so let's take a look at this guy. Alright, so here's our figure, and I believe that this is a Shoretrooper captain. I think he's the captain. I don't think he's a squad leader. He's definitely not the regular guy because he's got the tremendous amount of blue on him, and that kind of denotes what they are. So let's go over this guy's terms of paint and sculpt and all that. So, I mean, right off the bat, I think sculpt-wise, they've killed it. This is everything that the Black Series should have been, and the Black Series are good. Don't get me wrong; they do troopers pretty damn well at this part. But I think this is the definitive Shoretrooper, and I really, really, really like this guy. I think he's far and away the best trooper that Rogue One had to offer, just because, you know, his design is so cool and it's so different, you know, since he's brown and all these different colors. So it's kind of the standard for a Figuarts trooper, though. I don't think there's a whole lot of groundbreaking stuff going on here. So let's go over the sculpt real quick. So we've got that helmet with all of that great line work in there, and it's all painted. And you've got the, you know, just the great attention to detail there. We've got the armor, which has a lot of a wash in it, and pretty much all the grooves and the nooks and crannies. There's a bit of a wash. It's not as dirty as the Black Series, which I'm okay with. I think that if this is supposed to be the captain, I think he could stand to be cleaner than the other guys. We've got the belt, which has a sculpted pouch on it that is you can kind of rotate it around. This helps with posing due to the legs. We've got some, you know, canisters on the back. We've got the telltale canister on the back of the trooper. We've got a lot of sculpted detail on the back of the armor, and then we've got a lot of detail on these shin guards, which have a lot of line work in them to bring out the detail. So there's a bunch of you know, grooves and just a lot of sculpted detail in there. So I think he looks really, really good, and I think it'd be hard pressed to find a better representation of this guy in a 6-inch scale for sure. As far as paint goes, he's pretty clean. There's a lot of paint here for a trooper. You know, normally troopers, we're thinking of stormtroopers, or we're thinking of, you know, maybe a death trooper now, but they're all kind of the same color. This guy stands out in that he is a lot of different colors. So we've got that brown base coat, which is really clean all over my figure. We've got the red here on the right arm with some extra detail in there. We've got the blue all over, as well as the yellow stripe. So I think this is really clean paintwork. He's meant to be a little dirty, I believe, so, you know, that's in there as well. You can see kind of some dirty detail in there, but he's not, like I said, he's not as dirty as the Black Series. And then we've got all of that painted line work again in the shin guards. So I think that as far as paint goes, he's pretty solid. I'm very pleased with him. I don't have any issues that I can see with mine, and as far as looks go, he definitely looks the part. Now, as far as articulation goes, like I said, he's pretty standard for a Figuarts trooper, so there's not a lot of groundbreaking stuff to go over here, but he's, as usual, you know, they've done a great job. So head is all over the place, all the way around. We've got some back and forth motion. And then we've got, he can look down pretty far, and he can look up, you know, pretty much as far as you would expect. Arms go out, and then the shoulder pads are, as usual, they are hinged on the arm, and that's the way it should be. I absolutely love that aspect of Figuarts. We have got bicep swivel. We've got double jointed elbows. We have got swivel at the forearm. We've got swivel at the wrist, and then it's a ball joint, so there's a lot of rotation in there. As far as chest goes, he can go back pretty far. He can go forward, not as far. So back is just further than forward. And then it's kind of a double ball peg, so he can do all that, but he's also got rotation, and he can go back. That's the double ball is what adds to the rotation, or the swivel backwards, in that he can lean further back at the waist and at the upper torso. We've got legs that they don't go out that far. I haven't really found that to be a problem, but they don't go out that far. They do have the telltale Figuarts joint where they can, kind of lock in and out to help with your posing. We have, they swivel at the thigh, and that's swiveling in the ball joint. And then we've got a, that kind of bald knee. It's not, I guess I guess you consider it a double, but it doesn't look like your standard double ball joint, but it goes all the way back. We have got, and there's nothing at the boot cut level, which is fine here. It's not really needed. And then we have a bit of a hinge at the ankle, but not a whole lot. And then there's a rocker, and it's, that rocker goes pretty far. He's going to break his ankle if you're doing that. And then he's got toe articulation as well, which is pretty standard. So you can do something like that. The boots on these guys are curved, and they're like that by design. So if that seems a little weird, that's just part of the sculpt. And the Black Series are like that as well. They kind of stick up. So he's never actually standing flat on the ground, really. His toes are always in the air, which I found kind of weird, but it doesn't seem to be a problem. So overall, I absolutely love the look of this guy. Okay, now as far as accessories go, this is pretty standard fare for a Figuarts Trooper. We've got 3 different sets of hands, and he's got kind of one of 2 of them on his hands. So we've got 2 of these trigger fingers that go on either arm, and they can be pointing fingers as well, because he doesn't actually grip the trigger in any pose. He's got excellent trigger control. So we've got 2 of these left and right. He comes out of the box with 2 fist hands, and then he's got 2 more gripping hands to hold like the butt of a gun. And so you can have any combination left or right for those. We have got a standard E11 Stormtrooper style blaster. There's no paint on this guy, but a lot of sculpted detail, so it looks really nice, kind of standard. And then what he's got in his hand right now, we've got this larger heavy duty blaster rifle, which again, no paint. It's all a molded plastic, but it's got a lot of detail on it as well. And this is what I've been posing him with, generally speaking. And he, kind of hold it in his right hand with the trigger finger, and then you can have him grip it with that left hand, so you can have like a double-handed grip on the gun. So not a lot of accessories, but it's kind of standard for what you get for Figuarts. I can't really fault it in that regard. For a trooper that we know nothing about, I can't really have expected much more, really. Overall, I think it's pretty obvious that I like this figure. Star Wars Figuarts are among my favorite figures in my collection at present. I really think they generally knock it out of the park with a few exceptions. And this is obviously one of the good ones. Shoretrooper, as a rule, I think is a really cool design. I think it's a good introduction to this trooper. I've been jokingly calling him the Imperial Resort Planet Trooper, because he's on that amazing beach planet. But I think he's a really cool figure. I love the paint apps. I love the articulation, as always. Again, he doesn't bring anything new to the table, but did you really need them to? I don't know what else they could have added to make this any better. So they just added to that already existing good trooper articulation. So we've got all the accessories that we could need, and for what you pay for this figure, I really think that, as usual, SH Figuarts has delivered yet again, and they really kind of knocked it out of the park, especially with the Rogue One Figuarts. They've all been pretty much on point at this stage in the game. So that is going to do it for this review, everyone. As always, stay tuned to Toy Bro for a lot more. We've got more reviews coming, so feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and share. Let me know your thoughts on this guy. I'd love to see if everybody else feels the same way, or if you aren't satisfied with this guy, let me know down in those comments. So until next time.